Hey everybody, it's Trigger Bar Philosopher. Welcome back out to the range. Today we got an exciting episode and we're taking a look at the Daniel H9. Should be a good time. Let's get shooting. Okay, so what are we talking about? We are talking about the Daniel Defense H9 pistol. Now this has been out for a couple of years now at this point. I think they released it 2 years ago, and then they re-released it last year. And so we're taking a little bit of a look at this new-ish pistol. Of course, if you know the history on this, a company called Hudson did the original design, a very innovative design. They took an approach to create a very low bore axis pistol, meaning the slide is very low relative to your hands, and they put the spring system really low on it. Now, when Daniel got a hold of the patents and pistol, they did a re-go on it and they moved that slightly up so the spring system isn't sitting quite as high on it. And so that movement of the spring system down, the bore axis down, should deliver a softer recoil impulse and a more shootable, more pleasant and enjoyable gun. Of course, this is chambered in 9mm, so we're not talking about a lot of recoil. But hey, you want to get your follow-up shots as fast as possible, so any design mechanism that you can create to make that better for your shooters should be every gun design. Now, of course, the big key with that is this is kind of a little bit of a revolutionary design. And so can you make it and manufacture it reliably? I guess Daniel decided that it took them a little bit longer than they thought to get this into working order. And then when they released it, it didn't really work out. So they had to re-release it again. They had bullets keyholing in the targets. They had reliability issues. They had light primer strikes. That's part of reliability. So just a whole bunch of issues with it. So we're going to take a look at this today. The prices have come down, I would say, significantly from where they were about a year ago when they were released. They were very expensive guns. This is an aluminum lower and a steel upper. Gun. It does come with a fire control unit, so in theory you could swap out the lower on this, but of course at this point they haven't really done that yet. They haven't come out with any of them, so we'll see. Of course, there are companies, I believe Lock makes some different grips for this that you can swap out, different grip side grip panels like a 1911. It has a very 1911 look and feel. One of the unique other design aspects of it is that for a striker fire gun, it has a direct pullback trigger, meaning it is not hinged. And you look at the trigger system, it looks very 1911-ish. The interesting things about that is it does have a trigger safety built into it. Now that is hinged and pinned to the bottom of the trigger down here, so that when you pull that trigger safety, it actually hinges from the bottom. I have noticed that creates a little bit of an issue for me when I've been shooting it. As I start to pull, if I'm all the way at the bottom, I may not get that trigger shoe pulled in all the way. If I'm in the middle, there's no problem. But if you're all the way down at the bottom, you may not be able to pull that trigger and get it past that and defeat that safety very easily. It just takes some getting used to. A very different type gun. So again, taking a look at this trigger, it is very nice. You have that trigger shoe take up, and you pull it, and it's a very short, very crisp. Look at that reset. Again, we're going to come up, and then there it's reset. So really just millimeter type amount of reset. So very nice trigger. It is heavy, and when they came out a year ago, they were like 6, 7, 8 pounds. Sometimes I measured this. It is right at 5 pounds. I did several pulls on the trigger gauge, so my pistol that I have is 5 pounds. Now, it has had some issues. We're hoping that they have overcome those issues. Again, looking at this pistol from a design perspective, it is pretty unique and pretty interesting. It does have a takedown lever that's in here, very Glock 19-ish. Actually, it's very similar to my PSA Rock takedown. It comes with an optics cut. I will say off the bat, these I'm not a fan of this optics cut and the plate system that they have. It's very Springfield esque in that it's you can only put the screws into your optic as thick as the plate is. So that means that it's just going to have, the optic is going to be sitting high. So we get this gun that they did tremendous design improvements to get you sitting very low, and then they pushed the optic up almost as high as they could. This is a very thin slide. I'll put up the dimensions up here at the top. But when you look at this slide here, this is ideal for an RMSC type footprint or Holosun 507K, or in fact, I have the Vortex Defender ST on it, and you can tell it's just a little wide for the gun. I could have even gone with the CCW for it, and that might have been a better fit for this gun. Well, with that said, that's enough yapping. We need to get to start shooting this gun and see how it performs. Is it reliable? I've got a bunch of different ammunition types. I have a bunch of magazines. It is 19 degrees out today. My hands, just in talking right now, this is the first video I've done today, they're frigid. And so we will see how long I last and how long I can do. This is, cold weather test for the gun. 19 degrees. We'll see how it performs. Should be a good time. Let's get to shooting. Well, why don't we take some first shots with the gun? I do have the Vortex Defender ST mounted on it up right now because it can take the Delta Point Pro footprint. I also think there are RMR plates, but again, not a fan of this mounting system. But here we go for some first shots with it. Let's see how it runs. Okay, it's very flat, very nice shooting. I've got to do some things to zero my dot, but glad to see that is running. That's really good news. All right, well, so that first round mag, I didn't kind of point out, I think it was 124 grain Federal, and I think I got some more 124 grain Federal that we're going to test now. Could be 115 grain, we'll see. Here we go for the next magazine. Hopefully we got it zeroed in and dialed a little better. I was impressed with how it's a very pleasant recoiling gun. The design of this gun is very nice. It's a very soft shooter. 9s are very soft, but quite honestly, it feels not maybe quite as good, but it feels like a compensated gun to me. Yeah, we're more on target, a little bit more adjustments, but that's really good. And maybe I'll take a moment now to kind of reveal what I'm kind of hiding or bringing it up to is this gun has had a few issues. This gun has not been a great journey to be on at this point. Hopefully I'll roll some footage. Got it out, gosh, before Christmas. Got it out in December. Picked this up in a Black Friday deal. Got it out to the range, and it had light primer strikes. It had failure to feeds mostly. Like you rack the slide, let go, and it just jams. Or you release the slide, stop, and it just jams. Either way, it wouldn't work. And then on a particular type of ammo, I think it was AAC 124 grain, it got a lot of light primer strikes, and then I just put those same ammunition in another gun, and it ran just fine, no problems at all. So there was something up with it. Sent it back to Daniel Defense, and hopefully all this footage is showing. Sent it back to Daniel Defense. It took them a long time. That was not prompt service, I will say, but over the holidays, so maybe that's why. And eventually they got it fixed, and this is the second time I have it out. The first time, we'll roll that footage now. Okay, well, why don't we get starting to shoot? We do have some 115 grain Federal ammunition. We'll load that into it, rack the slide. Okay. All right. We're down to 14 rounds. Come with 15 round magazines. And can't load any of these. Let's try this again. Can't load a single one. Rack the slide and it gets jammed. Nothing will go in. I don't know if that magazine is just bad, but I cannot load any of that. All right, but I have a different magazine and I have some 124 grain ammunition from MagTech. We'll see how this works. Same, works the same. None of this ammunition loads. That's Mag 124 grain. Again, it's not loading. All right, well, doesn't load any ammunition. Cool, we're done.
1 week later.
I couldn't get it to go into battery again. I thought, oh my gosh. Well, like, first off, I should have just tried that at home. But then what I realized is that day it was 17 degrees out and I was shooting. And right after that video, probably again that's showing now, I called it and went home and I didn't shoot another video. That's about all I did. The intro for this video was shot on that day. It was cold. It was too cold. So the gun does not function in cold weather. Now, an unbroken in gun, they put 100 rounds on it. And then you just saw the other rounds that I put on it. What they did at the factory is they replaced the barrel and the slide. So brand new barrel, brand new slide. It has, you know, now 130 rounds on the gun. Maybe over time it'll break in more and it'll perform better in cold weather. But like that gets me thinking, like, do I want a gun that doesn't work at 17 degrees? It's not 17 degrees very often, but I don't know. And again, Daniel Defense went through all this trouble to get to this. Daniel Defense, if they're known for anything, it's reliability. That's what they're known for. The Daniel 9 is not known for reliability. They had problems when they came out. They allegedly fixed them. This is a new gun. It's a brand new gun. Bought it from a big box store. It's a brand new issued gun that moves guns. Yes, they were doing a deal on them, but they've reduced the price pretty significantly on all these guns, and it's still having problems. I don't know. Let's shoot it some more. Let's keep working on it. Let's see if it does hollow points. Let's see if I can get my zero in. We'll probably be doing more videos on this. I'm probably going to get, 80 to 100 rounds in today on it. Why don't we next try to see if I can get this dialed in, and we'll see what kind of accuracy we get at, because that was a problem early on. I was throwing things all over, keyholing. Let's see what kind of accuracy get on it. But I wanted to let the cat out of the bag that I was pretty excited to get this gun, but at this point, I'm just like, what kind of piece of crap do I have in my hands now? I'll just be candid. It's going to take a lot to overcome that. But that's where I'm at. All right, let's keep shooting. Well, see, that's the kind of stuff that it does. I don't mind it on the slide rack, and maybe I didn't slingshot it as tough as I should have, but let's see how it runs. This is 124 grain MagTech, a little bit different than the Federal that I was just shooting, so we'll see how it performs. All right, let's just go down, take a look at, I shot fast. It wasn't a great group for accuracy. I'm still trying to make sure that this gun works, especially when I slingshot it at that time and it didn't go into battery. I'm a little nervous about that. Is this gun gonna run? I will do another round for accuracy, but let's just go down and see what that's looking like. It's doing really nice groups, and I'm at about 8-9 yards here. Okay, this is that group that I just shot right now. That's pretty good. I mean, I wasn't going super fast, but like maybe one flyer out of the group. It looks like different ammunition. I'd been sighting it in with a Federal, and it's still up and to the right. I need to pull it down and over to the left just a little bit, but like that's a nice tight group. Like that's 15 shots with one outside of it. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that accuracy. Okay, we have some of this Federal again. A little better that time, right? A little better. So we have some of this Federal I think it's 115 grain. Honestly, out of the box, I can't tell what it is. I loaded the mags. I didn't mark the mags which are which, but it's either a 124 grain or 115 grain. Those are the options I have. It's running everything great. That's ultimately the most important thing. Okay, so what I have now is some I have some ammo, ink ammo. This is old ammo. I have a couple of years old, not super old. I think the company's out of business now. So I just wanted to test, see if it would run jacketed hollow point. See, it's catching again. Maybe it's cold. It's much warmer. It was 17 degrees out, 17, 19, that range. And it's 32 today. Much, much better. It could be that it's cooling down again. I don't know. Why don't we use with this jacketed hollow points? We'll see, because again, it's supposed to be self-defense ammo, so it should be loaded a little better, although ammo ink is not known for the greatest quality of ammo. But we will shoot it and see what it does, see what kind of accuracy with maybe a 5-shot group we can do. All right, that was terrible. That was horrible. It's group like this big. I don't like that kind of size group. Why don't we shoot another group for accuracy? All right, I'll go down and show it. All right, there's our group, 15 shots. Like I just wasn't happy with that. I could swear though, a couple of these, my dot was right here on it. So I'm going to try some different ammunition. I'll paste up a couple of these now. The target's getting a little bit messy, and we'll reshoot for accuracy now. Now, I'm honest. It wasn't as good as I thought, and I probably had a lot to do with me. Could be the gun. Hey, maybe we're finding it, but I suspect of ink ammo anyways. Not sure how well you can see it, but I'm standing here, and then this is the spread of the shells of how they're being extracted. I know sometimes people act, what's the pattern? It's all generally to the right, but it's short, it's long, it's a combination of it. Still not quite doing it. I think it's getting cold again. I think that's part of the problem. Okay, we're going to try some accuracy. MagTech 124 grain. It's probably the ammunition I prefer the most if I can find it cheap enough. But we're going to see how it does with a 5-shot group. We'll see how we print with it. All right, we're definitely in a malfunction. And yeah. Huh. Oh, it's not MagTech. I shifted. Dang it. Let's reshoot that. So I had 2 rounds of MagTech, and then I had more Federal. That's a terrible thing to do is to have a bunch of different rounds. That's not going to give you consistent shots. Why don't we reshoot? I think that this might be our 115 grain, and I do know they do not recommend that in the Daniel Defense. They do not recommend that you run 115 grain, so I thought I would show it, and what we did get is a failure to feed properly on the 115 grain. So that's good to know. Why don't I swap the ammo, and we'll do another test trying to get our quote-unquote accuracy with it, but I'm getting some stringing with it. The shots kind of went like this a little bit, and that's kind of bugging me. Do it enough, it's maybe not the gun, or it's maybe not the shooter, and maybe it's the gun. All right, I'm going to try some Extreme Defenders. Don't know if they're going to fit. I think it's the 68 grain, but it's the plus P, whatever. So we'll try that, and we'll see how it performs in accuracy. See? Again, not going in, but just a little push and it's going in. I don't know. Okay, let's go down, take a look at that. It's running that, which is good. Again, yeah, so hey, running these solid coppers, remember the screw trip? Extremely high defense, extreme defenders from Underwood. Let's go down, take a look. I'm pretty sure I dropped one. Okay, that's 5 shots and 1 down here. I'm pretty sure I dropped that. That's pretty good accuracy. Again, at 8 or 9 yards, that's sufficient when you have the right ammo. This is the one I was complaining about just before that. I had a few up here and it's starting to string down, but it started with the 124 grain and then we went to the 115 grain, and that's when I started seeing it's stringing a little bit, but so that's not a good measurement. Okay, we just have a couple of partial mags back. We have some more of that 115 grain. We'll see how it does if we get some more unreliability with that. See? Whatever, I can't get it to go into battery off of it. There's someone's going to be in the comments saying I'm doing it wrong. Whatever. Okay, I don't know if that one time was a fluke. I was kind of stopping. I don't know. But we got some more of the ammo ink. Not many more. We have more of the ammo ink. It's a little bit of a grab bag and some more of the Federal ammunition. Okay, holding back as far as I can. And hey, you hear that? Yeah, all right. It takes a little bit to get used to the trigger. The trigger is very nice. It's a nice gun, but it's just kind of the opposite of what you'd expect from Daniel Defense, right? It's just, it's so odd that this is what they chose. All right, so here we go again. Slingshot. See, we can do it. All right, maybe the haters are right. That's it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mags of ammo that we ran through. We did have that one failure on that one round. I was kind of stopping. I don't know if I hit the slide stop. I don't know if it was the 115 grain ammo. Definitely, this is nowhere near enough ammo down this gun, given all the problems I've had with it, to say that, oh yeah, it's running great. It's way better than it was the first time I had it out, and I put over 100 rounds in at that time. But here's my recommendation and my takeaway. Don't get this gun. Like, don't be tempted like I was. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Do not get away from the keyboard. If you're watching this at 1 a.m. and you're going to click buy and there's one video you want to check, hopefully it's mine, don't do it. Don't do it. Go to bed. Wake up. Don't do it. Center heads prevail. I would not get this gun. It's an interesting gun. You may want it if you like the mechanical ways that guns are designed. They're doing something innovative, I think, on it, but I don't get this gun. I wouldn't do it. It's kind of cool. It's got a great trigger, that direct pullback. It's very short, very crisp. It is a very nice striker-fired gun and trigger. I like aluminum lowers. I like the gun a little bit heavier because it helps balance the recoil better. This is a very soft shooting gun. It's got all these characteristics. But, like, do you want a headache and do you want a gun that may or may not work? That's what this is turning out to be, and I don't like those. Maybe I do because I keep buying them. But yeah. Okay, well, let me know what you guys say. Do you have the Daniel H9? Do you love it? Is it something you want to keep? Put in the comments below how I don't know how to rack a slide. Put in the comments below how I'm causing all these malfunctions. Love to hear it. It's my favorite part of doing a YouTube channel. Hope everyone has a great week. Let's get to shooting.
From pistols to rifles, we'll take on the best. Review and each weapon, put them to the test. With revolvers and shotguns, we'll break it all down. The Second Amendment protects from the crown. Living for freedom.